a lot of cool stuff today, which we're really excited about. Anything that we can't comment on anything in the future, but certainly that comes from great entertainment, and we're always looking at all of the entertainment properties for future product ideas. Absolutely. Next question.
Would be like bucket list for me. Available internationally, the entire.
Yes, the skiff will absolutely be available internationally. There's no U.S. restriction on it. As we've always discussed, we're working on all of our products to get them available globally in every market possible.
Yeah, we could.
Price. I'm not sure if we've been talking about prices. I guess we do. The skiff. Yeah. So the skiff is selling. The global suggested retail price for that is $49.99. Is that a good wow or a bad wow, James? All right, there we go. That's what we like to hear. Next question. Yes, Chris.
Any possibility of sending Hasbro reps out to brick and mortar to collect the ObiWan figures for the vintage collection? Kind of around brick and mortar. Any chance of that?
So we're certainly aware of, we've talked in the past, like distribution is something that we always work on to improve. I don't know if we're going to approve a whistle-stop tour for Sam and I to go to brick and mortar retail, but Wave 1 of the vintage collection is absolutely something we're aware of, and we're going to try to get that out and get other waves in.
The Kenner figures on display, they have the retro collection printed on. Is it a print on, or is it a sticker that can go on?
It is print on, so it definitely is not intended to replace the original 1977 figures, but it is definitely to kind of honor them and sort of pay homage to them.
Steve obviously was a great design director to work with, so smart, so creative. Vicky has been amazing in the same way, so it's really been a seamless transition.
Galaxy of Adventure figures, is that now the successor to the Force Link 2.0 series?
So that is definitely the successor in terms of our 3 3/4 inch offering. So we have that as well as the Resistance figures, which are sort of populating, and we've actually been hearing a great response on those. So those are really to be able to continue the buzz in regards to those characters that a lot of kids are being reintroduced to through Galaxy of Adventures and that new animated platform.
When you continue to do 3 3/4 inch basic Resistance style stuff down the road for further properties and revisiting you can talk about it.
So obviously, as you know, we have different expressions in 3 3/4 inch scale. Vintage collection, now retro, obviously the more kid-focused lines. It's obviously the heritage scale of Star Wars, and we're definitely not walking away from that scale at any point in the future.
Is the Jabba's Palace is obviously a small playset. Some of the Star Wars fans have wanted for a long time, and is that potentially a test that if people like it, they'll wrap it up, maybe
well, that's almost implying that we didn't do right. But I think this was definitely the foundation for really being able to start to look at that. We saw the excitement that built around the Cantina, which ultimately was a very off-screen used vehicle. So with that excitement and all the figures were sort of building up and being able to bring out the new skiff and testing some of the waters in terms of doing something like the Jabba's kind of trophy room to be able to start to get some of those figures in and definitely seed it. So if you guys like it,
I think with all things, we've said this in the past, like the reason we do what we do is because we really do get joy and passion out of giving Star Wars fans the toys and collectibles they want. So we've been obviously doing different types of play sets. If this does well and you like it, then it will absolutely be a foundation for future product ideas.
And what's the price point for Jabba's Palace?
The price point for Jabba's Palace is...
I thought that was I don't know.
Joe?
Hey Joe, do you know the price point for Jabba's Palace? Off the top of my head. That's what I think it is.
Let me find out. I'll find out before you guys are done.
We don't want to put any bad information out there. So many products. So little brain space.
Talking about, or I know you mentioned it upstairs, or I mean, you're new, so leave me when's coming out to UK, Europe, and Germany.
Absolutely. So I'm going to try to remember everything I rattled off upstairs. It is absolutely coming beyond the US and Canada. In March, it'll be sold on eBay. That is the partner that we're working with, that we were able to get it to these other countries. But of course, there will be a specific URL on eBay. We didn't want people to have to like go to eBay and like enter something and search around for it. So we will be posting all of those URLs on Hasbro Pulse, and we'll be doing it at least 1 week in advance. We didn't want to post it and then like a couple hours later and maybe someone didn't check it. So if you check Hasbro Pulse, you know, at least on a daily or every other day basis, you will see it, and then you'll be able to buy it as soon as it goes on sale. And I'm forgetting the exact list of countries that I named off, but absolutely the UK, absolutely Germany.
It's about 20 now. With the logistics of that stock, if Mexico had like 500 left and the UK sold out in 2 seconds,
so it's
managed to stock, so it might keep it at the right time.
Yeah, so
is it once it's sold out in the UK, that's it, it's gone, will you stock around until?
So the short answer is no. I won't dive into all the details of the logistics, but basically it's one stock that is sold out of eBay. So as we said, it's limited quantities. It's kind of available to all markets. So there will not be a situation where people in the UK cannot get one while there is extra stock available in another market.
Fantastic. Jarvis Pals, $49.99.
For the record, that's what I thought.
Will you ever let us know what the final number of the katanas that were produced? Because obviously we know how many were produced in the US and Canada, and I think some of those people would like to know what the final number was, including the rest of the world.
So I don't think we'll say the exact number, but I think we can say generally definitely less than 10,000.
Total.
Yeah.
The Galaxy of Adventures figures and the Star Wars Resistance figures don't have vehicles in the lineup right now. No spaceships, no vehicles. Is that something that you're looking at for, you know, a release?
Yeah, nothing that we can talk about specifically today, but you know, definitely the nice thing about Resistance is it is a very vehicle-rich universe that it's offering. So, you know, definitely if there's a demand for it, we're listening. So.
Oh no, I lost it. So it's basically about the new 5-inch hyper reel that
8-inch. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, 8-inch.
It's okay.
He was talking about that there's a run around that sorry. It's got the 6-inch series might be canceled. Is that just a rumor or actually happening?
So as with everything, we can announce kind of future plans, but that being said, you know, the 6-inch line is, you know, one of our 2 fan-focused lines. We know that there are fans out there that love it, and there are no current plans to discontinue it. Yes.
I know you can't answer any specifics, but since it is the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace, do you think there'll be any more love for the prequel trilogy characters in the next year?
So can't comment on anything that's not revealed, but we have been excited to get some of that Phantom Menace product into the line. Obviously, you know, we chat with you guys, like we read online. It's been really cool to see kind of a resurgence of excitement about the Phantom Menace and the whole prequel trilogy. So we've been really excited to get the Force Effects lightsabers back into the line, the 6-inch figures that we announced last year at European conventions, now these celebration items. And as with all things, like if they do well and fans are excited about those prequel items, then it's certainly a rich source of entertainment that we'll continue to mine.
The great thing about 6-inch is, though, while we've done it for a few years, for Star Wars, it's still relatively a new scale. So there's plenty of figures, especially with all the new entertainment coming out. There's lots to support, but again, as long as there's the demand for it and the love for them, we're absolutely on board for making things happen in the future.
There's a lot of entertainment, and there's a set of Rebel figures you've been doing. Are you ever going to finish that set?
So I think Steve Evans mentioned at HasCon a year and a half ago that eventually we will finish the Rebels set.
Yeah.
Can't reveal anything today.
It's not a $20 price point, though, is it?
We'll see.
Similar question, but for 375. Any interest in realistically styled, animated sourced characters for 375?
So I think we know that vintage fans, again, been talking with you all and reading online and talking at conventions, that vintage fans like the Rebels trilogy. And as Sam said, kind of even with the vintage collection that's been around a lot longer than the Black Series, there's still a lot of great characters to do. So Again, can't reveal anything right now, but Rebels is definitely a great source of entertainment for both lines in the future.
And Clone Wars.
Absolutely.
To follow up on kind of the Phantom Menace question, I wasn't clear in the presentation. You said Darth Maul and ObiWan are going to be Celebration exclusives, and then I got that ObiWan's coming out in the archive line. Is Darth Maul also in the archive line, or is he in the main line?
ObiWan's actually coming out in the main line.
Okay.
So he was actually added to the display out there in his mainline packaging. So Darth Maul will be an archive exclusively available there outside of the convention.
So ObiWan in package in Black Series mainline is out there right now. We haven't revealed the second wave of archive packaging yet. So when we do, Darth Maul will be well represented there.
And before Steve left, did he sort out the Zugio archive figure?
We're working hard on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any way to differentiate the newer figures from the retro line from actual vintage figures?
They are dated.
They are dated.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
How long are you looking at for the retro collection? Is that just a one-off, or are we looking at multiple years? Is that an ongoing thing?
Yeah, again, we don't have anything further that we can necessarily speak to on that, but again, if there's the demand for it, it's something we're definitely excited about doing internally. Again, you know, as we saw it as being classic characters, but something we definitely wanted to do was the opportunity we took with Tarkin to really be able to bring characters that weren't done in 1977 to that card back. So again, if opportunities do arise for us to be able to do more, I think we'd certainly like to.
And I would just encourage your readers to let their voices be heard. We've said this before, but again, we do read your sites, and obviously, you know, we talk to fans at conventions, so have them, you know, if they're at a convention in the U.S. or abroad, come talk to us and let us know if there's a groundswell of demand. Like, it's something we'll absolutely explore.
So, license is not being used because the research that Volker has been doing. And this is set to expire in 2020, which marks 25 years after you guys relaunched in 95. Would there be a surprise for 2020 Star Wars Celebration?
This is the easiest question of all to answer, because if we can't talk about new reveals, we unfortunately absolutely can't talk about that. But a great question.
Is there anything new about that display version of the cell bars that we haven't maybe seen before?
So this is in fact a production sample. So this is a unboxed sample that arrived just a little bit earlier than the rest of it. But it ultimately reflects the cell bars that you come with.
Any differences from when we showed the upgrade model? We've been talking about some of that evolution.
Yeah, it's been a natural development. The really nice thing about the sail barge is that there wasn't a lot that wasn't engineerable. You know, everything in terms of the material limitations. This was a great collaboration, not only between our sculptors in HFE as well as our sculptors in RI. So it's very much what you see here is what you have here. So
What was the final number of paint
that is 1,000 paint ops.
1,000?
Yep, so it is the largest number of paint ops that we've ever applied to any Star Wars product today.
1,000 exactly?
We don't want to tell our marketing partners, but it was a little over that.
Over that, wow.
So that's obviously, the barge is a fantastic item, obviously a large value, and that deco drives a huge part of that. So I'm really excited for that level of detail that's worthy of the vintage collection.
Time for one more question.
Black Series packaging change that you mentioned during the panel? Or did I misunderstand that? Did you not say that there is a new packaging change coming?
No, we didn't say that.
No, so the only packaging variations that we have for Black Series are going obviously with the Celebration exclusive, and then just in terms of the talks of archive and using that to get some of those older figures.
I think what was said was new packaging for vintage, but how can you have new packaging for vintage if it's vintage?
So I think what we said was that there were new packaging that you hadn't seen before, perhaps down here in the booth.
So
we hadn't shown them at
probably said that for Black Series in terms of new packaging reveals being new packaging.
What's that? Oh, exactly. Yep. The Summer Wave, the Afro, and the comic book toys, exactly. All those packages are available here. Great.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
See you in Chicago.